It's Friday and it's time for the weekly wrap-up, and joining me today is Jose Ricaurte Jaén, and we'll be talking about Italy exiting Europe. The populist parties have been flirting with the idea of dropping the euro. What is the likeliness of this happening?
The situation is that we have what I call the strike back or sort of comeback from populism in Europe. And Kaya's, the real story here is not if they want to leave or not the euro. It's more of an anti-immigration scenario where most of the discontent from coming from Italy, it's based on the grounds that the refugee topic was not really well managed, and this actually comes from the top, Germany, and then consequently going all the way down. So this is what we're facing now. On the screen, you have the national debt of Italy. This is from the website nationaldebtclocks.org, and very interesting is that some journalists, they're talking about 130% debt as percentage of GDP, when in fact we're not too far from 140. And needless to say, we can easily be somewhere 150, probably by the end of 2018. Who knows, even more. So this is how populism is taking over, and the discontent from the majority of the population in the face of a challenge by helping lots of refugees experiencing the lack of opportunities for their young generations. And this is not just the case in Italy. We can sort of discuss the same in Spain, and there's a new break in Denmark as well. So this is not something that we have to focus just as a matter of fact. The discussion of them, the populist parties, the five-star movement, and the league, La Liga, in Italy. But this is something like it's happening everywhere within the EU. Now, it is likely to happen. To answer that question, what we have to focus now is there's this sentiment index, the Centix. You have it in a conversion between Grexit and Italexit. And you can see here, right here, how we have this big jump. Y1 is Italy. The probability jump all the way from a steady control decline, sort of sentiment expectation that Grexit may not happen, same as Italexit, and then we suddenly have this spike all the way to 11%, almost 6.30% higher in the last couple weeks. This is, well, actually in the last week, because it goes all the way back to June 3. But this is very important to understand. Although it's a very low expectation, you probably have to go all the way back to 2015, put it at a 50-50, which is, of course, it's just a matter of time before there's something really bad happens. And that consequently is translated into the market expectation. We have to understand that although at 11.27%, a jump of almost 6%, this is something I will say, this is the first call, the first wake-up call. Like if you were in a hotel and you were waiting for, you just have an important meeting and you requested housekeeping to wake you up because it's important. Well, this is the first wake-up call that you're receiving. And we can take a snooze for 10 minutes, and this probably can jump to 20. It's not going to change. There is massive pressure, massive populist acceptance right now in Italy. And at this rate, more than ever, we have to be really paying attention what Italy does next and how Brussels counterattack their proposals.
So how will Italy make a clean exit from the European Union?
Now, when we talk about a clean exit from the Union, for Italy, there's no such thing, and it won't be a clean exit. Just as a reference, you can take a look at Brexit and how difficult it has been for Prime Minister Theresa May to sort of navigate the different deals that they have to come up with to really look for a door to get out of the European Union. is not cost effective, not at all. It's a very expensive process, and also for investors, it's going to be a very expensive soap opera, if you want to put it that way. Now, looking at our colleague Naeem Aslam for Forbes, Italexit, a bigger thorn than Brexit, is also a very interesting article that I wanted to share with your audience, guys, because it gives you the idea of a trade. Now, why there's no way, there's no evidence that supports that any country can make a clean exit from the EU. You have the membership cost at different levels. Also, the EU makes, as a community, they have a lot of support programs to different countries, from Croatia, from Spain. You mentioned it. We know the different also subsides for agriculture. That is not free. Someone has to pay for that. And if they have been helping you as a community and then suddenly you just want to exit, there's no clean exit there. There's a lot of expensive results, and also for the market. Now, besides this article, and this is what the trade idea is, if there's the imminent threat of Italy leaving the euro materializes as very harsh discussions between Brussels and the new PM Giuseppe Conte as far as fiscal regulation in Italy and support from the EU budget, then we cannot deny this is going to get really bad. And the trade idea will be to be long dollar index, a more liquid asset class, and also long. It can, in a way, can be to be long equities in Europe, or find value stocks as well. And then there's no doubt, as Bank of America Merrill Lynch stated, we can see soon in 2018 the euro versus the US dollar trading at 110. So again, very expensive ending if Italy decides to try to make a clean exit. It just won't happen.
So is it more probable that Italy will wait for Britain's exit to happen before they show their hand?
We have to think this way, and this is the last chart I want to share with everyone. This is how it looks. It's about systemic. We all gonna pay for this. Even if you're in America, there are a lot of funds invested in European stocks. There's some major hedge funds like Bridgewater Capital that they have been short European equities, especially due to this situation. They have been insurance companies. They have been short insurance company. So the message is that there's no reason for Italy to wait. They know how difficult it is, and I don't think we're comparing apples to apples. Italy will face a more challenging wall and will face a lot more difficulties than the UK during the Brexit process. So the upper hand on this battle is on the side of the European Union.
Well, thank you, Jose, for speaking with me today. That was the last broadcast of the week. Be sure to comment in the box below to get involved in the story. Goodbye for now.